Hello folks and welcome to the latest betting preview for the upcoming Premier League matches right here on footballtips.com. Well folks, what a phenomenal week we've had to deal with. Not only do we have a host of goals and controversy during the week in our Premier League fixtures, but we also had of course the end of the transfer window for January. So managers now know exactly what they have between now and the end of the season. So let's have a look at some of the games that are taking place this weekend. And the first game is probably one club that was involved in the transfer window more than most, and that's QPR. They host Norwich City at Loftus Road. That's the early kickoff, 12:45 kickoff on Saturday morning. Harry Redknapp's side, they're currently just odds on. They're 10 to 11 to actually win the match with Bet365. All our odds today are with Bet365. Norwich City, they're coming into the game. Of course, they had a good 1-1 draw with Tottenham. Maybe slightly disappointed they didn't take all 3 points against Tottenham on Wednesday night, only for that wonder goal from Gareth Bale. But they're currently 3-1 price to win the match. So going on to 3 o'clock kickoffs, probably one of the pick of the games I have looked at is at the Emirates. Of course, Arsenal were involved in that pulsating 2-2 draw with Liverpool on Wednesday night. Theo Walcott and Olivier Giroud, very much their danger men at the minute. They're in excellent form, both of them scoring against the Reds. They're currently 4-9 to win the match, again with Bet365. If you do fancy Stoke to get an away, a somewhat unlikely away win, they are struggling of late. They drew against Wigan on Tuesday night. They're currently best priced 13-2, again with Bet365. Going on to Goodison Park, Aston Villa, what a horrendous time that they're having at the minute. Knocked out of both cups in a matter of 4 days last week. They did lose on a crucial match on Tuesday night against Newcastle at home. They're now travelling to an inform Everton. They picked up 3 points against West Brom thanks to an incredible season that Leighton Baines is having. He got 2 more goals for Everton on Wednesday night. So if you do fancy Everton to win this, as many punters do, they're 4-11 with Bet365. For an Aston Villa away win, it's an 8-1 shot. I don't think any of us here in Football Tips believe Villa can do it. They did have that famous win over Liverpool at Merseyside just before Christmas, so maybe lightning can strike twice for Paul Lambert's side. So going on again, Newcastle against Chelsea is the crucial game at both ends of the table. Chelsea somehow managed to throw away a 2-0 lead against Reading on Wednesday night. They'll be hoping to bounce straight back. They are odds on with Bet365. They're 10-11 to win the match. If you fancy Newcastle, I thought they were impressive with their new foreign legion in the first half against Aston Villa. Somewhat died, if you like, in the second half. But if you do fancy Newcastle to get a home win, they're a 3-1 shot with Bet365. And the final game of the 3 o'clock kickoffs I'm going to look at is the Reading versus Sunderland. Reading, who are showing some fantastic fight. I think a lot of people were writing them off 6 weeks ago. They're in a tremendous run of form. Of course, they bet West Brom when it looked like they were gone. They came back against Chelsea, went 2-0 down with only minutes remaining. If you do fancy them to win this one, it's a 6-4 shot. Sunderland, of course, they just bought Danny Graham on Thursday. They'll be hoping him and Stephen Fletcher can really hit the ground running and get goals for the Black Cats. They're a 15-8 shot, again with Bet365. For late kickoff on Saturday, it's at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham versus Manchester United. Of course, both sides met in the FA Cup only a week ago. Very comfortable and easy victory for the Red Devils in that case. And I'm expecting somewhat similar. Maybe Fulham, of course, they did have that 2-1 victory over West Ham during the week, so they might be able to continue that decent run and climb the table. If you do fancy the home win, that's a 9-2 shot, again with Bet365. And if you do fancy Manchester United, who will be looking to go 10 points clear considering Manchester City play on Sunday, they're 8-13 to do so. So speaking of Sunday, the clash of the weekend is without doubt the clash between Manchester City, Premier League champions, against Liverpool. Liverpool, as you mentioned, involved in that tremendous 2-2 draw against Arsenal. I was extremely impressed by them in patches. I thought they really should have been 2 or 3 up at half time. Again, Luis Suarez seemed to be combining well with Daniel Sturridge. So if Man City can put the shackles on Suarez, then I can see these. They can actually see these winning this match quite comfortably. They are odds on. They're 5-6 shot with Bet365. If you do fancy Liverpool, again, they haven't beaten anyone, as I mentioned before, above them in the league this season. They're a 16-5 shot to win this. Brendan Rodgers would be hoping, no doubt, to collect 3 points at the Eastlands on Sunday. Of course, they did beat Manchester City in the League Cup semi-final at Eastlands last year, so no doubt Rodgers would be looking for something similar. Folks, we're previewing and giving tips on each and every one of the 10 Premier League games this weekend, so all you have to do is log on to footballtips.com or follow us on Twitter at footballtips.